Hello and welcome to the Brazilian BA guest. Can you hear something? Oh, there's an echo. Is it on my phone? Sorry about that. Please take it out for me. Uh, well, if you have never been to the Brazilian BA channel before, please subscribe to it right now. Subscribe at youtube.com the Brazilian BA and put yourself, uh, click on the bell so you can be warned every time we have a new video. We have been talking about Nimble in different episodes. This is not the default episode of the Brazilian BA. It's a very different one because we are talking live from the Building Business Capability, the greatest business analysis conference in the world. And I'm having my guest not virtually today, but I'm having my guest presentially, my good brother from Belgium, Mr. Filip Hendrickx. Please join me, Filip.
Hi, Fabrizio.
Nice to see you. There is a microphone for you here. And thank you for helping me on that and bringing all this nice equipment for the conference.
You're welcome.
And Philip, we have been talking about Nimble, and I know you have been studying about that. We even given workshop about that.
Yes.
And we have been talking about Nimble as a capability.
Yes.
And my first question for you is, what's a capability?
And it's actually a relevant question given that this is the Building Business Capability Conference.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite simple. It's a concept from business architecture. It's an ability, something that an organization is able to do. For example, you create a lot of videos and you publish them online, like this one. So one of your capabilities in running your business is video publication. And if you look more deeply into that, it consists of a number of sub-capabilities. You will do some planning, you will do some video creation, the actual recording, you will do some video editing, and you will do the video promotion. So those are sub-capabilities, that things that you are able to do with you as an organization in order to get to the outcome that you want to get to, which is reach a lot of people and inspire a lot of people with interesting business analysis content. So that's the ability part of a capability.
The ability part is what I do, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Without thinking about the details, you don't know or you don't explain how you are doing it. You're not saying, am I using a microphone? What kind of video camera or video editing software am I using? What process am I going through when planning a new video recording? That's not what a capability is about. It's independent from the way it is implemented. It's just saying, what are you doing?
Okay.
So that's one half of it, the ability.
The part of the ability.
Yes.
But there's the K before
There's
ability.
the CAP, the cap.
The
And you
cap.
could remember it as a shorthand for capacity.
Right.
And so you are able to create videos, but that doesn't say how many videos you are able to create.
All right.
Is it one per week? Is it one per day? Is it 15 per month? And so that's the capacity level. How much, how often, how good are you able to perform
or
your
in how
ability?
many places?
Yes.
In places like this, that's very
Yes.
different. I will even invite Rosalind to walk around and see where we are because we're in the middle of the conference. This is the IIBA booth, by the way, and she's gonna walk you around so people can get to know the building business capability at least a little bit and stay with us from their own houses. This is a very nice place.
Yes, absolutely.
So when we say that Nimble is a capability,
Mhm.
so it has the ability and the capacity on it. And
Yes.
so it's a capability of an organization to be nimble. What exactly is the ability and what exactly is the capacity?
So Nimble, as IIBA defines it, is the scalable capability to sense and respond to change in a precise and speedy way, with precision and speed. And so the ability is sensing and responding to change. When things are happening, I might need to change what I'm doing as an organization so that I stay relevant, so that I can serve my customers well. A big example is COVID. Suddenly, all of the organizations needed to be able to work remotely. So they needed to change their abilities. And so one aspect of Nimble is what is the ability? The ability to sense and respond to change.
Right. So ability to sense, understanding the context, understand the problems that your organization is facing,
Yeah.
or the opportunities that are in the market. What are your competitors? What are other products? What are the opportunities you could explore,
Yes.
and responding is actually changing your processes, changing
Yeah.
your business rules, changing your systems, changing
Abilities.
your abilities, your architecture, everything to
Yeah.
respond to those
Yeah.
needs you
Yeah.
sense. Oh,
And essentially, in the sensing aspect, you don't really know what's happening. You see what's happening and you try to make sense of it. You try to understand it so that you can translate it into a relevant response. Things are happening, and I'm going to do some processes differently so that I can leverage that situation, leverage that opportunity. And so that's the ability part of the Nimble business capability. Then there is also the capacity part. How good are you at sensing things? How good are you at responding to things?
and about how good, I would say, how fast you are and how precise you are.
Yes.
So you are being fastly sensing what's going on. You would be responding fastly, but just responding fastly is not enough, because
No.
you can respond with a wrong answer. So responding precisely, and that brings back to sensing. To respond
Yeah.
correctly, you must sense and understand what it is.
Yes. Absolutely.
I like that, and that makes a connection with the International Institute of Business Analysis, because I can see there's a very strong connection between Nimble and business analysis.
Mhm.
Can you help me to understand that?
Well, as you said, it's not just about reacting or responding in a quick way. It's about being precise in your response so that you can take advantage of the situation. And business analysis is about understanding what's happening. It's about analyzing a situation, thinking about an as is and a to be, and defining the path based on your analysis, the path from as is to be, which is your response from your current situation to your situation where you have responded. So all of the analysis techniques that we have can help us make sense of what's happening and define a response. And so basically, doing business analysis in a more conscious way, in a more consistent way, will help you become more nimble.
That makes sense. That makes sense. We did a workshop
Mhm.
this Monday here,
Yes.
and it was a little different experience. But people were connecting business analysis practices and techniques to barriers that avoid people about being nimble or getting their best performance. Can you tell for our audience a
Mhm.
little bit about how was this experience and what did we do in this workshop?
So one of the key elements was to try to make people experience what it was to sense and respond to change without knowing exactly what was going to happen or what the situation was about. So we tried an experiment. We had put balloons on each of the tables and some candy. And there was a note on the table, don't eat the candy yet.
And it was Brazilian candies, and they were
Yes,
delicious.
very tempting.
Yeah.
And so people didn't know what the balloons were about. We gave them a few rules, but very vague rules to get started. And at some point in time, we started to kind of throw the balloons off the table. And each time a balloon dropped to the floor, we took away candy. If a group was able to keep the balloon on the table, or if they found a creative way to kind of defend the balloon and making it like taping it to the table so that it couldn't be moved away, they also got candy. So without explaining them the rules of the game, we had them experience, sense, and respond to change. They had to sense what was happening, the balloon throwing on the floor, getting candy, having candy taken away. Try to make sense of it. Why is this happening? When is this happening? What's the purpose of this game? And then define a response. Let's make sure that someone is always holding the balloon, or that we tape the balloon to the table so that it's fixed. And so, without knowing all the details up front, they experienced what it meant to sense things that were happening and create a relevant response to it.
And that was just part of the workshop,
Yes.
because there was a workshop happening. They had tasks to do. They were relating
Yes.
techniques of business analysis with different ways of becoming more nimble, and the balloons were there. And so it was really a great experience. I believe people who joined us enjoyed. At least that was a good feedback I had from some of the participants. Thank you for joining me in that session. I think
Yes.
I think we had to be nimble because it was the
Absolutely.
first time we were doing that, and we
Absolutely.
didn't know
Yeah.
exactly what to do. I can see now that there's more people around because it's the breaks is around. So Rosalind, please show for our audience a little bit around. So let's walk around the room and see what's happening. And I would like to know, Philip, a little bit about this conference. This
Hmm.
is one of the great business analysis conference we have around the world. I know we are going to have a very nice conference also in Europe and in four
Hmm.
different cities where you are the master and organizer of that conference.
Yes.
What's the benefit for people who are on the community of business analysis, who are business analysis practitioners, to join a conference like these or like BA Beyond?
I think a couple of things. First of all, it's a great source of inspiration. What's happening? What are the things that are happening now? What are the things that we see happening in the future around business analysis? How is the role of business analysis evolving? What new practices are popping up? Obviously, these days, the role of generative AI in business analysis is important. You can learn here about new insights and what it means for us, for our profession. Um, and secondly, it's a way to get inspired not only by the theory, but also by the practice, because a lot of these sessions are given by practitioners like you, like me. People are doing BA work every day, all the time, and they share their experiences. So it's not just about learning new theory, it's also about learning how do we apply that theory, and what happens if we apply it. When does it go well? When does it go wrong? How do we respond if it goes wrong? A third thing that comes to mind is the community. You get in touch with a lot of other BA practitioners, which is just fun. Fun to hang out with other BA geeks, if you will, chat, laugh, have lunch together. So it's about networking. It's about just relaxing among peers.
And about community, I would like to go deeper and talk about the role of IIBA in creating this community
Mhm.
of practitioners of business analysis. And I would like to invite someone to join us. Susan, come on, join us, please. Yes, come on, sit here. You're my guest right now.
Hello.
So, Susan, we are talking about community and how it is important to have a community of practitioners, people who are living the same experience and joining together. And
Yes.
I would like to know from you, because you are the face of,
Community engagement manager.
yes, and the face of the business community live, let's say, the business analysis live.
Yeah.
How it is for you to join a conference like this, and what's the value a participant of a conference joining BBC or other business analysis conferences organized by the IIBA community? What is this value for participants who would like to join?
I think part of the value of coming to a live conference is learning by osmosis, learning by just being here, because there's an energy when you're in a place live. So I was talking with some of our leadership, and we were talking about, the things that we're learning and how we are already starting to incorporate that in other conversations that we're having with participants here. So you can't beat just having conversations with real humans so that you're synthesizing all of this stuff that you're learning and hearing. Not to mention, I think just being with people, there's just energy. There's just a fun part about being with other people, especially after we've been in our houses for 3 years. So it is so valuable to come here for all of those experiences.
There's an important part of it that you said is it's not just knowledge, it's not just career, it's also about fun.
Exactly.
We are in Orlando, right? So there are balls of IIBA, and so Rosalind does this for you, right?
That's right.
You can throw balls at people. There are some games and also parties.
Oh, there's parties every night, and
Yeah.
not crazy,
No.
responsible parties, I might add. Yes. Well, I don't know what you guys are doing after like 10 o'clock. Yes.
About this thing that we are doing right now, you can. All right. We are doing a podcast. You have been doing this for a while,
Yeah.
right? And what do you think is the value of this kind of communication, these kind of channels that you have, I have, and we are doing? Philip has the BA Cafe every week with a
Yeah.
community in Brussels. What's the value of having people connected online?
Well, Listen, I think having these live online chats, to me, it's about accessibility. Sometimes we are remote, we're remote workers. Sometimes we're in different countries. And when we are able to have conversations with other people, it makes it accessible. I get to hear people that are like me talking about things that I do, things that I know, things I don't know anything about, and maybe they don't either, right? But we're exploring it together. So I really find this format like the even just the ability to have this kind of a format where we can be live and just talk with people is really, I think, a way that we extend our community to people all over the world who do this. So yeah, this is a great format. In your BA cafes, you guys go into more than just like what business analysts are doing. Like I see the summary of your chats. You guys have fun.
Philip,
A lot of fun.
I guess you could talk a little bit about for our audience who doesn't know the BA Cafe, what it is, and how could they join it?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the first COVID lockdown, we thought we need to do something to keep the community together. And so we created what we call the BA Cafe just for us in Europe at lunchtime on Friday. Each Friday, an online meeting of an hour. People can hop in, hop out whenever they want during the opening hours and chat about stuff. BA stuff, non BA stuff. There was no formal agenda. We just chat about things. And obviously, being analysts, we do analyze the non BA things we chat about.
Yeah.
But-
It's strong in us, right?
Notes. You have great notes. Also, a critical, an analysis skill is being able to summarize and synthesize what you've heard. So, great notes.
I
Thank
would
you.
say that you can even leave business analysis, but business analysis doesn't leave you.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
inside
yeah.
us. We can do
Yeah.
differently.
And talking about the notes, we did try ChatGPT or the Zoom integrated AI bot to create notes for us, but our own notes still are better.
And if people want to join the BA Cafe, how should they do?
They can go to our website and there is a link to the BA Cafe there. It's the same link every week. And you just click it, you go into Zoom, and there you
What's our
are.
website?
Brussels.iiba.org.
All right. And also for BA Live, if people haven't know about that or haven't joined the podcast yet, how can they reach?
You can find us through the IIBA LinkedIn page. You can find us at iiba.org. Go up to the menu. There's the podcast link, so you can find I think you can find out where to find us. You can also find us on YouTube and Spotify, and we try to make it on all platforms where we think people will want to learn about business analysis. So.
Yes, that's what we're trying to do as the Brazilian BA as well. So we are on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and Spotify as well. So you can listen when you're home. You want to take another round around, Rosalind? So the conference is still running. Now actually is the break. We're not escaping any presentation, right? So this is the time for the break where people come to the booth of sponsors. They can chat, they can meet different people, they can connect and create that community engagement that we are talking about. And it's always fun. And we have behind the cameras Rosalind taking care of everything for us.
As
Rosalind,
usual.
yes. If you get a full round, you see yourself, Rosalind, and everybody can see you. So you can say hi to the camera. Are you there? Oh, you can do it full screen. I almost
Yeah.
got there.
Almost got nice there. Try.
Yeah. But that was great. This is great. So my last question for you before we end in this session, right? So for Philip, my question would be, what are the next steps or the next great conference that people should be looking for in Europe, especially?
So obviously that would be our conference, BA and Beyond. And I don't just say that because I think it's a great conference and because we're organizing it, but we are trying to go beyond borders. We are trying to raise the bar every year. So we've been doing it for 7 years or now the 7th time in Belgium. It will be the 6th time in the Netherlands, but we'll also be running it for the first time in Denmark and in Luxembourg. So we have 4 countries, 5 days of business analysis content and fun. So that's lined up for you end of May, beginning of June.
And I know that's a great opportunity for people who live around that regions, but I would like to say that IIBA organized conference are very nice. This community is a community that we feel like part of it. We feel like family here. And we have been learning very much from each conference. We have BA Brazil in September. And we were speaking about how every conference influences each other and how these communities is learning from each other. And Susan, to end this conversation, as you are the community engagement, I would like you to send a message for our community, for those who are would like to join our community, but maybe they don't have a conference close to them. How can they join this community?
I think one of the ways that you can create a community is start local. Just if you know other business analysis professionals in your organization, start there. Have conversations about topics, about what you do, how you do it, and the questions that you might have. And then branch out. IIBA has chapters all over the world. If you're a member, you get to be part of a chapter just as part of your membership. So IIBA.org, find a chapter near you. There's almost 120 in the world. But yeah,
Yes.
that's how I would start.
I guess that's it. So I'm calling the end of this episode. It was a short
Okay.
episode because we want to enjoy the conference and go to the stunning presentations that we have ahead of us, right? And thank you for joining us. This episode is going to be recorded on YouTube, LinkedIn. Join us anywhere. It will always be a pleasure. Thank you.